This is considered the dead phase of FIFA. Player prices are nothing compared to what they used to be, and anything you do now doesn't cross over to FIFA 23. So the question that everyone is asking, is there any point to grinding at this time of the year? And this is exactly what we'll be answering in today's video. But before I do get into the video, if you would like to skip grinding and just get to the point in where you have coins in your account, then there is no better place than Mule Factory. Head over there to get yourself some cheap, fast FIFA coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic5 at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 5% discount. Link can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video, when we're talking about grinding, we're looking at either as trading, which is mainly what we do here on this channel, or we're looking at playing loads of matches. At the beginning of the year, it's worth going through because every player has a ridiculously high price range, especially the good players. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions of coins. And for you to get those players, you need to put some time in, or at least you may even need to go and put some money in. But at this time of the year, for a lot of players, they no longer see the point because FIFA 23 is just around the corner, and the second that it is released, nothing crosses over. All of your coins, all of your players, all of your consumables, everything that you have on FIFA 22 will not be there on FIFA 23. You start from absolutely nothing. So is there any point to grinding this game? And I'm going to argue that there is. Because so many players give up at this time of the year, it does mean that everything is a lot cheaper. There's not as much attention around these players, there's not as much demand, and because there's less players, you can really get some of these players on a very good deal to either trade with or to just use for your team. What was the highest rated players right at the beginning of FIFA 22 has been completely buried by hundreds, even thousands of special cards. And as everyone is wanting a new and shiny thing, it does mean that those cards that were part of the game right at the beginning are now going for pennies. Just look at Mbappe, for example. On the Xbox right at the beginning of the year, he was around 1.3 million coins. Now, if you was to grind for him, you could trade to him, in which I'm not sure how long it was going to take. It really depends on how good of a trader you are. But if we were to look in terms of playing matches, let's just say on average, you would get 500 coins per match. That's 2,600 games that you would need to play. Now, of course, that isn't exact maths because you do need to take into consideration the weekly rewards, the coin bonuses, as you don't just get 500 coins per game. It adds to something a lot bigger. Realistically, right at the beginning of the year, for 1.3 million coins, you're looking at around 500 to 1,000 games, depending on your luck. But that's still a lot. Now, if you're looking to get Mbappe at this time of the year, it's only about 144 games. This is because he's now worth 72,000 coins. If you wanted to grind to Mbappe, who is one of my favorite players within this game, you could do that just by playing matches. You don't need to trade, you don't need to do anything else. Whereas at the beginning of the year, the best way to get Mbappe for 1.3 million was to trade. Your grind now goes a hell of a lot further than what it was able to do months ago or even at the beginning of the year. And it's not just based around Mbappe, this is for every player within the game. There are still some players which are worth millions of coins and it's gonna take you a long time to get to. For most of you, you're probably never going to be able to achieve those, but that's perfectly fine because they're not that much better compared to their cheaper and less desirable special cards or even their rare gold cards. Another positive I see at this time of the year is that you do not need to be as competitive. Very similar to me recommending that you trade right at the beginning because you need to go and get those coins to get the best players. At this time, because the best players are not as expensive, you also don't need to force yourself to go through different types of game modes such as Division Rivals or going into Foot Champions just so that you can get the best possible rewards in hopes that you can either get a lot of coins to then eventually buy these good players or whether or not you're going to look to pack them. And by not going through these competitive game modes, it really lowers the stress. Now with Foot Champions, it has been a lot less stressful this year compared to previous years. This is because you get rewarded for losing. You do not actually need to win your games to get a reward at the end. you could actually go through and forfeit every single one of your matches and still be rewarded with points. This is what I've been doing for most of the year. I would forfeit my first 10 games and then play through 5 to decide how I'm performing as a player, plus also to decide whether or not gameplay is good. If I believe gameplay is awful, or in most cases I'm just not playing well that day, I will forfeit the rest of my games and still get a pretty decent reward at the end. Now, as we're approaching the dead phase of FIFA, I don't even play, don't even bother qualifying, and if I do qualify, it's just because I want to have fun by going through the champion playoff. If I don't want to go through it, I will not go through it. I will either play division rivals, squad battles, or in most cases, I'll just go through friendlies, as they're fun games to go through. I'll just play what I want to play, and the second I score, in most cases, my opponent will forfeit. I don't get the craziest rewards, but linking back to the previous point, I don't need to. Players are so much cheaper than what they used to be that I could just get the coin reward at the end of the match, and as long as I keep on doing this over and over again, which hopefully I will be able to because I am just doing it for fun, I will be able to buy into the players that I want to buy into. Another thing that I see loads of players doing at this time of the year is starting a completely fresh new account. They will have their main team on their main account, they'll start a new account and see how far that they can get to over the next couple of months. And this does a few different things. Firstly, it does bring a fresh feel to the game. If you're a good player, you're in the elite division, you're doing very well within FUT Champions, once you go back to the beginning of a new account, everything's fresh. Your record, well, EA doesn't know how good of a player you are. So you're going through Division 10, you're gonna come up against Division 10 players. This does make it extremely fun at the beginning because there's just no sweat. Of course, you can still see this as you're going through Ultimate Team again, only for you to get nothing at the end because still nothing will cross over. Except there are a few benefits. If you start your account now, as in the time you're seeing this video, you can actually get yourself into position to have an active account. An active account which will qualify you to have a chance to get a beta code, which you do have on your main account, but now you have 2 accounts, so you're doubling your chances. Last year, I've already said this a few times in recent videos, but it really just goes to show how well this can work if you time it correctly. I've been a player that's been playing FIFA since FIFA 05. My first Ultimate Team, because I skipped FIFA 09, I went straight to FIFA 10. And I've been playing it every single year. Not once have I ever had a beta code until last year, where I created several new accounts, and 2 of those new accounts did get invited to the FIFA 22 beta. That's not guaranteed to happen, but it does increase your chances. The other benefit is once FIFA 23 is officially released, you will be able to claim loyalty packs. You'll be able to sign into your main account, claim the loyalty packs from there, see what you can get, list the stuff into the transfer market, or keep the players if they're good, and then you'll be able to sign out and go onto your very next account. Depending how many new accounts you start will depend on how many accounts you can go through. Yet again, this doesn't guarantee that you're going to get anything good, but it does increase your chances of being able to get a good player which can sell for a decent amount of coins, ready for you to either stick with that as your main account, or you can transfer all your coins to one as long as you are smart. This is still against the FIFA terms and conditions, so if you do transfer your coins over in a very clear and obvious way, your accounts are going to be flagged and those accounts are going to be wiped or even permanently banned. So it isn't a risk-free method, but it has been done in the past, and there's been a lot of people that have done it successfully. And all of this starts with you creating a completely new account and grinding it out so that you have an active account. For you to class as an active account is completely down to EA and what they decide for the year. I don't know how many games it is, I don't know what you need to do, you just need to make sure that you are being active on that account, building up your coin balance and playing enough matches before sometime within August. This isn't a publicly released date that EA tells you, this is just something that they set behind closed doors. And the final reason to carry on grinding at this time of the year is if you do still enjoy the game. Now, of course, if you do not enjoy the game and you're still playing and potentially you're looking at some of the stuff that we've listed in this video, it's probably not worth going through. You'll start it, may do it for a couple days, and then you'll probably give up. It's just what people do when they're not enjoying something, and it's no different even when it is a game. For a lot of people, and I used to be like this myself, especially once new information started to come out about FIFA 23, I would be hyped for the next FIFA. I would want to play the next FIFA, but the closest I can get to it is with the current FIFA, in this case FIFA 22. So I would have a sudden motivation to play, go into Ultimate Team, potentially start a completely new account, and then stop later that day because, well, it's not the FIFA that I'm excited for, it's the current FIFA which I've played hundreds, even thousands of times before. So if you are enjoying the game, by all means carry on playing, doing what you want to do, whether it is grinding with some of the stuff that we've said within this video, or whether or not you just want to go and do something completely different. Maybe it's just SBCs that you want to go through to test your luck. It's entirely up to you. If you're not enjoying, well, that's just a sign that probably you should stop playing and go enjoy some of the other games, because there's plenty of good games out there. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're currently doing with FIFA. Are you still playing this game? Are you playing matches? Are you going through SBCs? Are you trading? Or have you completely given up? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.